Hello, it's Midweek Message time again. Okay, the time is 7:30 Wednesday morning, 28th of June 23. 19 degrees centigrade, a lot cooler now, 66 Fahrenheit. It's a lot cooler now. I'm not too good in the heat. 90% humidity, 1018 millibars on your old barometer. And the flag is, just looking out the window, not doing much at all. I think there's a slight breeze from the west. A quick thank you to Rolf for sending me the article on the Dutch pirate radio people. Quite an interesting article. Thanks for that, Rolf. Mark, happy 60th to you. Happy date, 60 years old. Mere youngster, I don't know. Ray, thank you for your info on the footage detectives. We do often watch that along with, what's that other? I keep forgetting what TV programmes are called. Rob, yes, greetings from Melbourne, Australia. Nice to hear from you. So many people have emailed. It's great. Ange, nice to hear from you. And everyone else that takes the time and trouble to contact me. It's really great. Ray's Rants at protonmail.com. Lots of you contacted me about the almost legal episode last Sunday. Things we did when we were young that could be classed as illegal these days. That was really good fun, thinking back to all the things we did and all the things that some of you have told me about. I'm surprised, honestly, that we didn't end up in hospital some of the time. I remember climbing on top of a huge brick wall. I don't like heights. I got onto this brick wall, must have been about 12 feet high. I wanted to see what was the other side. So I went up this tree onto the top of the brick wall, and there was nothing the other side. What do they say? Look before you leap. Luckily, I didn't leap. There was nothing the other side anyway, no deep river or cliff or anything like that. I managed, obviously, to eventually clamber down, but I didn't like that at all. They were talking on the TV just now about nutrition, eating healthy food and all this stuff. And that reminded me of back in my childhood. My mum cooked healthy meals. She was a very good cook. She made cheese flans and pies and cakes and all sorts of nice things. But what struck me, they were talking about children eating sweets. My grandmother, my nan as we used to call her, Nan, she lived up in Sutton in Surrey. And she'd come down about once a month on a Sunday. On the train, we'd go over to the station to meet her. And she'd have a couple of carrier bags. One was full of comics for us 4 kids. Loads of comics. And the other one was full of sweets. I remember my mum saying, don't touch the sweets. We're about to have Sunday lunch. Have the sweets after lunch, which we had to do, of course. We had to wait. But after lunch, there were Mars bars, Toffee Crisp, Milky Way, Topic. Do you remember Crunchy bars? I used to like Crunchy. I think Topic was my favourite one. And there were packets of Refreshers. Do you remember those? Love Hearts. Sweet cigarettes. They were good, sweet cigarettes. And we'd eat they're full of sugar. We'd eat all this lot after lunch. They're all full of sugar. No wonder my teeth were never particularly good. So we'd spend the rest of the afternoon reading comics and eating sweets. Totally unhealthy. Having said that, as I'm always telling you, I'm always banging on about, I was always over the woods. I didn't spend my entire time eating sweets and lounging around on the sofa. Talking of the woods, we went to Arundel the other day, walked around Swanbourne Lake. I used to do that when I was a kid. Do you know, I used to go there on my bicycle. Have a look at that, Arundel, Swanbourne Lake from Worthing. It's miles. It's quite a journey in the car, let alone on a bike when you're a kid. But of course the main road then was a country lane. There weren't many cars around, so we were quite safe. But I used to go around Swanbourne Lake back then. And it hasn't really changed. There's an old boathouse there that when I was, let's say 8 years old, it was all rotting and falling apart. And now I'm 70-something years old, the boathouse is still there. And it's still rotting and falling apart. It must be, I don't know, it must be made out of oak, I think, because it's lasted for decades. Even though we've had no rain, the lake was full, which is good. Lots of swans, ducks and all that sort of thing. That was really good. Then we went on to the wetlands, wildfowl place. What's it called? Wildfowl wetland. I don't know what it's called. WWTF or Wetlands Wildfowl Trust. I think that's it. We're members there. We pay 90 quid a year to belong to that. But it's really worth it. We often go over there, have a coffee. We've even had lunch there. walk around. Fantastic place. Now here's the thing, I've got no idea what I'm talking about next Sunday. Hello to everyone in North Carolina, by the way. In fact, hello to everyone around the world. The amount of listeners I've got are building up, looking at the various stats, which I don't understand. There's a whole screen of stats. Listeners in different countries and who's listened to what and for how long. I can't understand all that. Right, I shall see you. Oh, by the way, the engine light came back on. Do you remember I told you about a week ago the engine light came on, took it to the garage, they fixed that. Well, it came back on again. Took it to the garage and they fixed it again. And he said they're a pain, and well, I won't tell you what he said. Pain in the neck, let's say that. And he said if it comes on again, bring it back and I'll sort it out. But they are a pain. Nothing wrong with the car, it's just that the light comes on. See you on Sunday. Take care, look after yourselves. Bye-bye for now.